Anyway, sorry about that. I didn't run my normal AI created thumbnails. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. Let's get the 5x5s out of the way. Oh, shit. All right. On the Verge, Ozark, no, wait, yeah, Ozark Cowboy Busy, DGC, thank you for the 5x5. Ryan, Joe, Deanna, Freedom, Jason, Occult, Elaine, thank you for the 5x5. Flown Grown, Evolving Media, Jazz, Sarita, Witty, Dan Phillips, thank you for the 5x5. Jason, Groundhog, Brian, Busy, Danger, Dana, excuse me, thank you for the 5x5. City, Monica, Wyatt, Keith, Tinge, thank you for the 5x5. Tom, thank you for the 5x5. Jan, Karen, Trapper Bob, Buffalo, thank you for the 5x5. Slappy, I heard about that fog. What was it, a radiation fog or something like that? Jason, Krista, thank you for the 5x5. Law Dog, AC, Eddie, or Ed Lee, excuse me, thank you for the 5x5. The Watchman, thank you for the 5x5. Dana, Stacy, American, Kenzoe, thank you for the 5x5. Johnny, thank you for the 5x5. Base Bunny, Maria, thank you for the 5x5. Mr. Landfill, thank you for the 5x5. Prep to Adapt, thank you for the 5x5 on Rumble. Appreciate it. I tell you, these ads on the chat are annoying. GMA, Patriot Son, On the Verge, thank you for the 5x5. Tangible, Cosmic, thank you for the 5x5. All right, so I think we're good. Bad Chainsaw, Huckleberry, thank you for the 5x5. Lori, Robes, Teddy, thank you for the 5x5. All right, guys, so we're going to talk about something that I really didn't want to talk about. Not that I didn't want to talk about it, I didn't see the pertinence of talking about it. I mean, we know, excuse me, that something is headed our way, right? That they're undoubtedly going to start their nonsense. Though with this one, I think it's just no, I don't think that. I'm lying to myself. I don't think that. I think this flu is another charades, so however you want to say it. Dante, no, I get ads in the chat, which is dumb. I don't get ads on here. But yeah, in the chat, like this, it's a sidebar. It's weird. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But anyway, so of course, guys, they have a mutated flu variant that's out there now that is getting a lot of people sick. Now, currently, I think the ex-wife and my two oldest, they're sick, and my youngest is sick. So even though my youngest tested negative for the flu, I'm still I still think he has the flu. I mean, those tests are not they're not accurate to begin with, right? And he popped negative for all the other bullshit, RSV, COVID, whatever other tests they gave him. Which again, I don't like them taking these tests. There's no need for it because there's no protocol that's going to change between the Mr. 19 and flu. There really isn't. They're not going to give him anything, and maybe they'll give him, what is that crap that you people take, Tamiflu. Even then, you don't need it. Just some soup, a lot of water, and that's it. All of this nonsense with the we got to find out exactly what it is. The only reason why they want to find out exactly what it is, so they can put it in their stats and jack the numbers up. That's the only reason why they're doing it. They don't do it because they care. They don't. But to sit here and every time you get sick, you go get tested for what? It doesn't matter. You're sick. You should have a protocol at home for when you get sick, right? Part of that is not having any sugar, like at all, not even a little bit. You should bump that. And again, guys, taking vitamins and boosting your immune system is not going to get better. Oh, that's right, Johnny. You were sick with this, right? You were sick with the flu. Guys, the boosting immune system, there's a bit of a Raccoon Eyes Maria Jackson, thank you for the 5x5 on Rumble. There's a bit of a farce with the boosting your immune system. If you are living your life like shit, whether you're smoking, eating junk food, banging hookers, and you just have an unhealthy lifestyle, and you're just a fat slob of a man or woman, boosting your immune system is not going to help, right? You have to live somewhat of a healthy. Listen, you could be fat and healthy, but if you're eating crumb cakes and cupcakes and donuts and shit on a daily basis, and that's your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, there's no amount of boosting your immune system that's going to help if you're a fat fuck, right? It just doesn't work. People like, I took elderberry before I got sick. You're out of shape, man. Like your immune system's out of shape anyway, And never mind if you took the arm ticket. Like if you took that nonsense, then you're really shot. Your immune system's in the toilet. And forget about if you work a stressful job. Your immune system's down, right? So you have to be healthy for not a long time, but just eat healthier. Hell, again, you don't even have to drop weight. Just eat healthier, so that your body is not fighting with the sugar and the compound in your The brown shooter was just found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Yeah, right. I highly doubt that. Whatever. And yeah, so anyway, they were trying to link the brown shooter, by the way. They were trying to link him to the scientist that everyone is saying is a very, 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 very suspicious death. But yeah, that the scientist that just passed away, what the hell was he? He was an MIT professor, Nuno Loureiro, if I pronounced that right. This guy was like, molecular, a cold fusion scientist, or fusion energy, right? Or energy fusion, whatever, one of the two. But anyway, that was his wheelhouse. And they were trying to connect the Brown shooting to that. I was like, wait, what? So that made no sense, right? But yeah. Anyway, he was into clean fusion, theory, but apparently he had made an announcement about clean energy fusion, or clean fusion energy. Excuse me. He made an announcement about it, and then he ended up murked. Now, for those that don't know what clean fusion energy is, it's just endless energy. It's first of all, it's the most powerful, pure form of energy, and it runs off of pretty much nothing. And there's a couple downsides to it, but it's nothing like nuclear or a power plant that runs either on nuclear, coal, whatever it is. This is a lot cleaner and a lot efficient, and it's just like a forever source of energy. So anyway, until gatekeepers can gatekeep that, they're not going to allow it to get out there. But anyway, that's just a theory. One of the rumors is that he was going to make an announcement, about clean fusion energy. So of course, I think he was talking about it to his friends. He might have made notifications, and then they murked him in his fucking home, right? And on top of everything else, shot square in the head. Now I forgot what article. 2 articles I read. They specifically noted that he was shot in the middle of his forehead. Again, that's code for whoever else is reading that to know that their target was down, middle of the forehead. I've never heard anybody ever mention the preciseness of someone getting shot in the head. Never. And in that article, I had to read it twice. I was like, wait, what? Why did they say that? Then it dawned on me. Yeah, I hear that about the whole not knowing about nuclear and how they're lying to us, and some people don't think it exists. Cold fusion was proven in Utah University. Everyone dead. That was in '89. Yeah, they were trying to tell us that it didn't exist, that it's impossible for it to exist. Meanwhile, there were theories written about it, and there were, what is that called? Studies done that says it does exist, and now they figured it out. And anyway, he got murked. So yeah, and he's also the same scientist, if I'm not mistaken, that went against a lot of Einstein's theory. Right? So I guess he had it out for Einstein. I don't know why, but nerds in their nerd fights, throwing pencils and pocket protectors at each other and calculators. I don't know why these nerds have it out for each other, but they do. Right? Who was it? It was Nikola Tesla and who's the other guy? They had it out with each other, right? And Nikola Tesla wound up dying fucking old and alone and poor, right? Because he went against the grain, or he went against the narrative that they wanted him to talk about that he was out on, and that's why he died the way he did. But coincidentally, his science is coming back to mainstream, and people are testing a lot of his theories and a lot of his inventions that were supposedly whisked away and put into the either the United States government or the Vatican somewhere. They took all his work, and his work is starting to get Edison. Thank you, guys. And his work is starting to be leaked out again. So, whatever. So yes, there might be another pandemic heading our way. That's the gist of this live stream tonight, and tomorrow morning's video. There might be another one. Here's the rub. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Now in the UK, they were doing, they were telling kids to stay home. They were telling people to stay home. So it's a light lock away, if you will, but it's not staunch like we went through back in 2020. But they are definitely gearing up for it, and they're getting people ready for it again. They are also bringing back a lot of the face covering mandates, right, because of this flu. Now, this variant is super contagious. I mean, like, you don't even have to sneeze. You could just talk. Apparently, it's really contagious. Now, do I wholeheartedly believe it? I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. 3 of my kids are sick, and 2 of them, one of them doesn't live with the other 2, right? The other one lives all the way in Connecticut, and he still got sick. Though they were hanging out for the weekend, they probably breathed on each other the wrong way. But nonetheless, again, now the ex-wife is sick or not feeling good, as she put it. And I think my son's mother in Connecticut, I think she said her mother's getting sick. But again, everybody's getting sick around me. It is what it is, guys. We're not going to let this new bullshit start worrying us and stressing our immune system so that we flip out. Because I think that's what they want. Right? So anyway, they're dubbing this the super flu or flu K, as for subclade K, which is this is actually the H3N2 subclade K variant. This is a mutated variant from the original flus that are out there, or the other ones that are out there. This is the mutated version. So they're calling it the super flu, and people are getting knocked on their ass. Now, I've been around people with the flu all my life. Never got sick. Right, so, but this week alone, I think I'm dropping my sugar intake down by a lot, just so I don't wind up getting sick. Not that I could probably use a couple days off, but this would absolutely, I'd be off. I've been sick for 2 weeks, did not take the flu shot. Patty, you've been sick too? A lot of people are probably, again, a lot of people are going to get sick. Now, here's the problem, I don't think it's a problem, but mainstream media thinks it's a problem. The more people that get sick, the less help there's going to be at the hospitals. Now, like I said before, guys, if you get sick, you don't have to run to the hospital unless you're having major issues. If you can't breathe, if you're having some kind of chest pain, even though it might be a pleural cavity thing with your chest from coughing too much, that could be the issue. But even if you feel that, then you should go. But I wouldn't go. Like, if I got sick tomorrow, I'm not going to the hospital. For what? I'll bear with it on my own. I'll drink a bunch of tea and soups, stay away from sugar, still go work out. I would still work out anyway. I have worked out being sick before. And I have found, guys, if you have, not the common cold, but if you're coming down with like a flu and you feel it, you should go for a workout or a mean walk. Will I take the shingles arm ticket? No, nope. Captain Trips. Yeah, that was one hell of a disease. But yeah, I wouldn't take the shingles vaccine, not at all. Fucking tired, man. I had such a shitty sleep last night. Maverick says I haven't been sick. Good. Yeah, like I said, I've worked it off a bunch of times. When I've gotten sick or felt something, I either started lifting weights or I did some ridiculous kettlebell or CrossFit routine that caused me to sweat my ass off. Even though I moved a lot slower, I was still able to get it done. And by the end of the workout, about 2 3 hours later, I felt good, almost good as new. Doesn't happen. It doesn't happen all the time, but I would say out of 10 times of trying it, I think 8 times I beat it, right? So, but yeah. Anyway, so this is the nonsense that they're going to push. Now later tonight on the Angry Truth channel, we're going to talk about the arm ticket and how one doctor says it was deliberate, excuse me, and premeditated. So that goes along with what I told you guys about the coded DNA. So a lot of stuff is starting to come out about the Mr. 19 juice, and a lot more doctors are coming forward. A lot more doctors are coming forward as how they were stifled or threatened if they spoke out against it, right? But yeah. Okay. Anyway, so that's what we're going to talk about in the Angry Truth later tonight at 10:10, more like 10:05. I say 10:10 just gives me a little bit of a leeway. So anyway, guys, the term superflu typically refers to a highly contagious variant of the influenza virus, such as the H3N2 subclade K variant, which can cause severe symptoms. It is more important to get. Here goes the bullshit. Now, keep in mind, guys, there is no arm ticket for this current strain. There's nothing out there for it. In fact, they didn't even have the foresight to put it in the current flu arm ticket. So it's not in there. But every article, just about every article at the end, is going to talk about this mutated flu. It's a super thing. People are going to get sick. Get your arm ticket. But the arm ticket doesn't cover this one. Get it anyway, because it could stop the other ones. It just sounds like fucking, like the worst bullshit in the world, just to keep money in their pockets. And everybody's falling apart. Everybody. Again, guys, it's this is what it's going to be for the next few weeks. I would say 12 16 weeks of this shit. People, carrying on and crying and, oh my God, I'm sick. I should go to, no. Again, unless you have respiratory issues, don't bother. Unless you're having some serious pain, don't bother. Don't become a statistic, because that's what they want. Now, again, guys, like they keep stating in each article, they go, it's important to get arm ticketed and take precaution during the flu season to protect yourself against such strains. They want you to take something that's not going to protect you from the current strain. I don't understand this. Other articles have said, don't, one article back in like September was like, because there's no arm ticket for this strain, whether you take the, what you call it or not, it's irrelevant. It's not going to help, because this strain is going to get you anyway. Especially if you're a person that's dealing with a lot of people, right? We deal with a lot of people all the time. We're in and out of people's homes all the time, right? So we're exposed on a daily basis. And then they try to push people to take the RSV one too. Brian, that's the thing. A lot of people think that, Or urgent care, right? A lot of people think that going to urgent care or hospital is like the way to go. No, stay home. Chicken soup, dude. That's it. That's all you need. You know, you're not going to pass away from this unless you're made out of pickup sticks. And then in that case, yeah, then you got problems. But you don't have to worry about it if you are fairly healthy, you know? Do they have that? Do they have an Ozempic with that technology in it? That'd be crazy. Oh, boy. I'm fucking tired. We're only 22 minutes in. Like I said, it was a shitty night's sleep. After this, I get to do my Angry Truth, edit, and then go to bed. I had enough. No kidding. Monica said my neighbor died from the flu in February, but she was 50 or a bit younger. Listen, I'm saying that this one, no one's passing away from this one. People always die. Every year, people are dying from the flu. Though, at 50, that's fairly young to pass away from the flu like that. That is really young, actually. Normally, you hear that shit with people over 70. You know, the old people, like the really old people, not like 50. You know, 50 is old, but it's not super old. Yeah, Johnny 308 says, but the chicken soup has 3D printed meat. Don't get that one. In fact, I would make my own chicken noodle soup for the season. Right? Load it with salt. Make your own batch. Put it in jars or containers and freeze it. Right? And then bring it out accordingly. Or, what you call it? Not vacuum sealer. What the hell's that called? Oh my God, the shit that I was doing a couple years ago. You can do that with the chicken noodle soup as well. You can make it in batches, put it in jars, and can it. You can do that, right? So, and then you know exactly what it is. Now, I want to make my own chicken noodle soup. I want to brine the chicken first, then cook it part of the way through, and then not all the way through, part of the way through, and then put it in the cans. Cut it up and put it in the can and can it. Right, pressure canning or canning. Right, and I did that a few years ago, but I didn't do it with chicken noodle soup. But I would definitely, and it wouldn't be chicken noodle soup. It would just be chicken soup. There'd be no noodles in it unless I added to it later on. You know, which I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna put noodles in my fucking soup. I'm not fucking five. You know. Maria says I make homemade chicken. I've made chicken noodle soup before. It lasted me almost a month. It was almost a month. I was drinking it every day on top of that. Drinking it, eating it every day. But I mean, my chicken noodle soup, my chicken soup was loaded with meat. You know? Right, roasted chicken, right? And slow roasted at that. Right, so you get that flavor in there. But anyway, guys, schools are closed as tidal wave of flu sweeps across the UK. Schools have been forced to close or take measures, Mr. 19 measures, to reduce the spread of illness in weeks as a severe strain of the flu sweeps through classrooms across America. Across the UK. Excuse me. Head teachers have reported having to impose restrictions to stop the spread of what they are calling the tidal wave of flu in the recent weeks. Congleton High School in Shire was one of several schools forced to close due to the number of cases of the flu, or rather in the school. Sarita, thank you for the donation. Sarita, yes, I think fasting would definitely help with getting sick, or at the very least preventing you from getting sick. Your body is reset to zero when you fast. You don't have any sugar on board to weaken your immune system. You also need to dial down your stress during this time of the year. Which normally this time of the year, stress levels are down, with the exception of the holiday season, stress levels are down. But yeah, you just gotta you gotta be careful. Anyway. And thank you for the donation. Writers on social media have said it had to shut 26 and 20. It had to shut schools on the 26th and 27th of November to carry out deep clean of the premises after discussion with the UK Security Northwest Health Protection Team. That is a mouthful. Infection control teams. A lot. That's still a mouthful. All right. St. Martin's School in Caerphilly, South Wales, are closed for fire breaks, a period to allow a deep clean. You're going to start hearing that term pop up more and more. It's called fire breaks. I didn't know what that was, and I looked it up. I was like, just call it a break or a cleaning or a deep cleaning. Try to come up with a cool term, fire breaks. The schools have to take fire breaks. I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're doing fire drills so that the kids, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking when I heard fire breaks, but it didn't make sense. Anyway, email reportedly said 242 pupils and 12 members of the staff have been reported absent due to the illness at the school, and the school said it would aim to reopen Tuesday, December 9th. This article is from last week, by the way. Oh, boy. Adam Fenn, professor of pediatrics at the University of Bristol, who is a member of the government's Joint Committee on Immunization and arm tickets, said the current dominant strain has mutated away from the strain used to make the arm ticket. So again, they're telling you need to take the arm ticket to fight this because it mutated from it, but articles are going to say it doesn't matter if you take it or not, you're still going to get sick or possibly going to get sick. So there's no rhyme or reason. Robert, yeah, I think the words mutated or catastrophe or apocalyptic, when they are talking about this flu, is a little much. It's over the top. I've never seen such writing like, oh my God, this is the worst flu season we'll ever have. This is going to be catastrophic. Like, really, dude, it's the flu. I mean, if no one's passing away, let's play our position. Let's be smart about it. You know? But they want to lock people down. I think that's part of it. I think this, though, it's a finicky road because it is flu season. People do get sick. This strain, the H3N2, has been out for a while. It's not new, but the subclade K, which is what makes it a mutation, is why it's doing what it's doing. But outside of that, guys, it's just very... Outside of that, man, it's just very... it's the flu. You'll be okay. So, okay, they are trying to link the Brown shooter to the MIT professor. Now, I also find it interesting, too, back with the professor story, is that immediately upon him being reported that he was murked, I don't know who or why they reported it, but they kept reporting that he was pro-Palestinian. Oh, no, sorry. He was pro-Israeli. Excuse me. They were like, what does that have to do with anything? I don't understand that. I don't understand why these guys thought that reporting that he was pro-Israel had anything to do with him passing away. You know, there's a lot of places that are going to outlaw lab-grown meat, Brian. So, yeah, Alabama is the first state, I think. Or no, they might not be the first state. I forgot who the first state was. They weren't the first, but there was another state that did it. Yeah, so we're not going to... There's a lot of states that are going to fight against the lab-grown meat and the cultured meat. So we should see where that goes. All right. So here's a more interesting part about this nonsense that they're trying to scare everybody with. Mexico confirms its first case of the so-called superflu variant. Mexico has confirmed its first case of the influenza H3N2 subclade K variant, commonly referred to as the superflu or the K flu. Health authorities said in the northern hemisphere, infection was detected by the National Institute of Respiratory Diseases and confirmed by the Health Ministry, which said the patient recovered without complications and did not require hospitalization. The influenza A H3N2 is a respiratory infection by a subtype of the influenza A known virus for mutating rapidly, a characteristic that can contribute to outbreaks and complicate long-term immunities. Again, I don't know if they're trying to scare the shit out of themselves or trying to scare the shit out of us. I'm not sure. But all of this stuff that they're writing, I'm sort of not buying. I'm really not. Yeah, the brown shooter is dead, Patriot, but they're linking him to the scientist and the school shooting. Again, don't know why they're linking him to that, but the MK Ultra, I think that thing is either imprinted in a lot of people or they're learning how to control more people on a fly, right? So this guy might have been walking, minding his business, and somebody whispered in his ear 3 words. And those 3 words activated him, and he went on a killing spree. There is that. Or they used a machine to scramble his brain to get him to do that, and that's why he took his own life. Because either A, he realized what he did, B, he was fighting with himself while he was in there, or C, they just ended it for him so that they could sit there and go, oh, we caught the bad guy. You don't need to look any further. Stop right here. Don't cross that threshold. Matter of fact, don't even look inside. Because if you do, you're going to find a lot of shit you do not like. Oh. This is a rough live stream tonight. Holy shit. Well, the MK Ultra and maturing candidate are sort of one and the same, right? The maturing candidate was like, word mentioning or what the hell is that called? Where you use word to unlock a person. Sort of, the MK Ultra is sort of the same way. If you look it up, it is 2 different events, right? Or process of controlling the brain. But I tell you this much. the WEF, they just released hold on. I saw this today and I was like, wait, what? Of course, it's not here. It's not on my phone. Let's check. Right, so the WEF talks about mind control using sound waves. The WEF, one of the most powerful elite organizations in the world, recently discussed an emergence of remote and mind control technology and admits that it could be used to turn humans into mind control slaves. So when they talked about that on the it was a conference, if you will, and this guy was talking at the 2023 forum. So this is 2 years ago. And they were talking about how it could quell criminals or something with love. And I was like, wait, what? It was like it could prevent criminals from criminally, pretty much. And I was like, and he broke down the process on the music or the sound wave that needs to be used to control people. Again, this is from the WEF back in actually 2018, but it was discussed again at the 2023 forum 2 years ago. So this article was written a while back, but they were discussing it again, and they're going to continue to discuss it again. So yeah, nothing good can come of the WEF wanting to control your mind by using soothing music. CSE driver, 1 shot, dead smack in the middle of the forehead. But yeah, he says, what variant are we on? Well, listen, man, every week they're pushing some new bullshit. So the influenza subclade K has been detected and is actively circulating. Did I read that right? Yes, is actively circulating the United States. Recent surveillance report of the CDC confirmed that since late September 2025, the majority of influenza A identified in the U.S. belong in the subclade, making it the dominant strain this year. In some cases, the infection can lead to severe complications of the death, respiratory problems, particularly among vulnerable groups, which are really old people. A lot of old people are going to have a problem with this flu. It's going to be bad. Again, do I think it's going to cause the apocalypse? No, absolutely not. But it's definitely going to cause some issues. So we shall see. All right, Frankie. See you later. But yeah, this is just another scare tactic to get people more up in arms. I don't know, man. I don't understand why they need to ride this wave for us. We get it. People are sick. People are going to get sick. You have to work yourself out or work on yourself so that you don't get sick. They don't want to tell you that. They want to tell you is that you should come in and get Tamiflu. They don't want to tell you, hey, do yourself a favor. While you're fasting, because that's what you should do, you reset your body, you realign everything, you empty your stomach out, so now your stomach is healing itself, and then it starts to heal the other side of your body, the other parts of your body that are inflamed. Right? And then they tell you, all right, and then while you're fasting, or while you have the cold anyway, you should fast, then you just drink soup. Right? And if you can work out, work out. If you can't work out, don't work out. But nonetheless, you should definitely be a lot healthier when you're getting ready to when you're getting ready for flu season. Flu season's pretty bad. It's always bad though. I mean, like every year, from what I know, they're like, "Oh, this flu season's going to be bad." I'm like, "All right, just get healthy." And then, granted, you just can't get healthy. You can't turn a switch on and boom, you're healthy. It doesn't work that way. It does take time. But if you start eating cleaner, if you start leaving less problems in the body, which means less sugar, way less sugar, right? I mean, sugar is the root to a lot of shit. They're even finding out, guys, that sugar is actually the cause of high blood pressure and not salt. Though table salt, that bullshit that we put on at the restaurant, that is not the salt you want. They're stating that they think sugar might be the leading cause of high blood pressure and not salt. Because I am a salt junkie. I'm probably at a teaspoon of salt a day between all the food that I eat, maybe more than that. And I do not have high blood pressure. My blood pressure is insanely low. Yeah, soup is kind of gay though. Soup is very gay, but soup is also good, especially if you make it yourself. Like the chicken noodle soup I made a few years ago, I was proud of myself, man. I let it sit. I cooked it for 2 days, which probably a whole 24 hours fine, but I cooked it for 2 days. I think one day I put it in the fridge, pulled it out, cooked it again. It was by far the best soup I've ever had. And I'm not saying that because I made it. I'm saying it because of how I doctored it up for 2 days. And it lasted me, I would say, almost a month, if not a little longer. Or maybe I had to throw some shit out. I don't know. Yeah, and Himalayan salt or Celtic salt is good, or Baja salt, or lava salt. Lava salt's pretty good. I had my hands on lava salt. I left it at my kid's house. I was gonna pick it up, but lava salt's good for you too. Anything that's gonna break down in the body is great, right? It breaks down easier. The table salt doesn't break down as easy. That's why you might get a headache when you eat that kind of salt. But all the other salt that I have, I never have a headache from. I never get sick in that regard. But table salt, that bullshit with the kid with the umbrella jacket, the umbrella and the rain jacket. I forgot the name of that company, but yeah, that should give you headaches. Yeah, lava salt is it's what it is. It's lava. It's black, but it's salt. You can break it up in your hand. Like Baja salt is really good. Baja salt dissolves really fast. I had put that salt in water, and I think I stepped away for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes to do something. Came back, I looked in, I was like, so I put more salt in because I thought I forgot to put salt in. It dissolves so easy. So nonetheless, I drank salty water. Morton, thank you guys. I drank salty water, and I was annoyed. But salt water, first thing in the morning, opens your body up to absorb more water throughout the day, if that makes sense. So if you're gonna, drink water in the morning or whatever it is, make sure you do Baja salt or a salt like Himalayan that breaks down pretty fast. You don't want the shit sticking around. Yeah, sugar's the main. Yeah, again, Champ, they are finding out that sugar is the leading cause of high blood pressure and a lot of other problems, right? Obviously, diabetes. They think it might be leading to stroke, dementia, Alzheimer's. This is all because of sugar. It's all because of sugar. Yeah, I tell you, man, last night, man, the rolling around with the sleeping, that was some straight bullshit, man. I was like, what in the fuckery is going on? So I'm gonna try something tonight. I'm gonna try a cocktail tonight, and not a cocktail, but like a tea. Honey, sea salt, coconut oil with warm water. I'm gonna try that after the Angry Truth channel. Supposedly you can get good sleep with this. I've been trying everything to get good sleep. I'm trying as natural as I can, and if I can't get it naturally, I'm not going down the other road of medicines and shit. I'm gonna stay away from that. Iodized salt is necessary, but very little. You don't need a lot. Really don't. But listen. I do take some of that in. Like at work is the only time I have the iodized salt. My only two salt is Himalayan and Baja. It's the only two salts I have at home. I do have iodized salt, but I use that for my cast irons. I clean my cast irons with that kind of salt. So if it's all screwed up, I pour the salt on to lift the oil out of the pan, and then I scrub it the rest of the way down, and the pan's good. Run some water over it, done. I barely strip my cast irons. I'm getting really good at that. I strip my cast irons maybe once a year now. But yeah. I always take airboy. Yeah. I don't take any of that stuff. I stay away from that shit as best as I can. But these new terminologies that they're coming up with, like tidal wave of illness, a tidal wave of flu, I'm like, wait, what? What? Why are we making shit up? Instead of just handling the problem at hand, we're fucking sitting there making shit up. Which again is stupid, retarded, and bizarre. All at one. So, let's see. I wanted to talk about this real quick. Now it's all over the news that the Brown shooter. So right now, the highest level of flu activities in the United States is New York, Colorado, Louisiana, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Idaho. Connecticut tracks. But Idaho, huh? And Colorado, I guess, winter season. Now again, I challenge you guys, every article where they talk about the new variant of the flu, look at the bottom of the article. Wash your hands, avoid nose and mouth, get the arm ticket. Every article. Meanwhile, earlier in these said articles, they tell you how there's no protection against this variant because they didn't think to put it in the arm tickets. So yeah. But anyway, symptoms, guys, are fever or feeling feverish. I have no clue what feeling feverish is. Cough, sore throat, runny nose, stuffy nose, muscle and or body aches, headaches, fatigue, very tired, and then some people may have diarrhea or vomiting. If you are shitting yourself and throwing up, you might be an infant. A grown person shouldn't be doing that, but I get it. It's one of those things. But the body aches are associated with the flu. So I know I asked my son if he had body aches. He said no, or rather his mother said no. So that's a good thing. But he still had headaches, a cough, and a sore throat. And the test came back negative, and I thought the test was bullshit. Because according to what she was telling me and what he said, he's sick. You know, he's not making this shit up. So, and then they got this article here. Oh, from the CDC, how to protect yourself from the flu. The first thing they mention on their website, how to protect yourself against the flu, get the arm ticket every year. And then clean the air, hygiene practice, washing your hand. Some people will put plants in their room. There are plants that there's a snake plant that actually kills bacteria and mold, or it filters the bacteria and mold in the apartment or room, excuse me. So maybe you want to put a snake plant in your room. There used to be the old onion thing. Some people said that never really worked. I don't know. I'll never ever try that, but yeah, certain plants I think can definitely help with your sleep, help with filtering the air in your room, and helping you get a better night's sleep. I know snake plant is one of them, and there was another plant that I just heard about the other day. I was just like, holy shit, okay, that makes sense. Oh boy. It's funny, Candace Owens met with Erica Kirk, and she's still going after it. So that's a good thing. I thought she was going to start Shabbat Shalom with a little tiny hat on her head, but she didn't, man. She's still going in. She's still going in on it. All right, so guys, basically, just watch the bullshit. Pay attention to this. I'm saying, pay attention to this for entertainment purposes, because I think this is going to get wildly interesting just based on what I'm reading now, and just looking at some of the title they're using. Like, what is the superflu? What are the variants? Why is this variant stronger than the last one? It's not in the arm ticket, but you should take it anyway to protect yourself. Protect yourself by eating healthy, doing the right thing, and you'll be okay. That's all you need to do. Sounds like symptoms of shedding. No. I mean, listen, those are basic symptoms. Those are the same symptoms you get with anything else. There's nothing really different. You get the cold, you can get, headaches, a cough, little feverish. Doesn't mean you have the flu. You can just have a cold. Or you can have an infection in the body. Same symptoms, right? Yeah, one or two might be off. A couple of symptoms might be changed, but yeah. This nonsense that's spreading is just, a lot of people are getting sick and nervous. Are getting sick and nervous. So, or getting nervous that they're going to get sick, excuse me. So, again, what is it? It's mutated. It's called a subclade K. It's getting a lot of people sick. They're also worried about hospitals being short-staffed because the staff is getting sick now. So come January, you might have a hospital that's either overpacked because they're not turning people out, or no one in it because they're going to show up, realize that they've been there for 12 hours and no one's seen them yet. So that is one of the things that people got to be careful of, is why I say don't rush to the hospital if you don't need to, because you can definitely have this problem. You could definitely have this problem where you go to the hospital, there are no workers, you're sitting around, you might see the same doctor come in and out, the doctor's coming in and out, asking one at a time, but every 3 hours. Meanwhile, you just got there, the room is packed, and then you always have one or two people that fake their illness is getting worse, right? That person in the hospital that just slumps out of the chair, and then everybody goes, oh my God, it's a cardiac arrest. They grab the dude, take him back inside. It's normally a chick, rarely a dude, and they fucking sit there and they start tweaking and shit so that they can go inside. People have done that, I've heard the stories, I've never seen it, but people do. This sounds like Outbreak more than anything else, actually. Also, yes, someone just said it, sunlight. Get your sunlight in there, right? I know it's winter time, so you're less likely to do it. Morning sun is the best time to get your vitamin D, right? And then later in the afternoon is also the best time to get it too, right before the sun sets. The morning sun's good for your eyes. It helps with your sleep regulatory system, but getting sunlight on your skin, on your face, in your eyes is going to help you also stay healthy and fight these colds off, right? There was a doctor back in the 1800s or early 1900s that kept his patients outside until it started raining. But before it started raining, he saw patients improve faster because of the sun. So he had them outside. But then it started raining one day, and the whole study went out the window. Not that the whole study went out the window, but yeah, people were. Hold on, I gotta close a couple things out. Once my thing gives me a heads up. All right, it should be fine. All right. What does Vicks do to your feet? Yeah, the Vicks thing, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, my mother used to do it when I was a child. Remember your parents they used to bury your face in the Vicks bottle, right? Like, sniff this shit, and it'd be like fucking all over your face. You'd be like, you know? And then you get older, and you have kids, and you do the same thing to them just because your parents did it to you. Because they could just smell it from your hand, or, but you had the nose right in there. Yeah, flown grown, my signal dropped, or not dropped, but I guess it was just, couldn't handle it. So I had to take a couple things off the internet, that is, excuse me, and close a couple windows out. And probably a couple of apps while I'm at it. Yeah, I had to close a couple of apps, that's why I slowed down. Well, elderberry is possibly the best one. I used to take this elderberry syrup that at least I gave to my daughter when she got sick, and it worked wonders for her. It worked wonders for her cough. The original Vicks was the shit. Someone said that Vicks changed its ingredients. Yeah, Vicks. I mean, yeah, Vicks is good for opening up your nose and your throat. I mean, as far as curing anything, no. People used to think that you would rub it on your chest and your chest cold would go away. It doesn't work that way. Shit's in your lungs. If it's in your lungs, you gotta fucking cough it out. Vicks is not gonna help that. Vicks just opens up your nasal passage, airways, and shit like that. There were football players that used to do that. They used to put Vicks in their nose when they played, or was it baseball players? I forgot who it was. But they used to do it. Yeah, so I guess so we're saying Vicks is not the same. Yeah, tree oil is fucking strong. All right, almost there. All right, guys. So I figure next week, I think I'm gonna do one live stream next week, unless I do a Monday, Wednesday. No, I would do a Monday live stream. Wednesday is New Year's Eve, so I would probably do a Monday, Friday live stream next week. I'll still get two in, but they'd be far apart from each other. Now, unless something crazy happens next week, that's it. But tomorrow's the 19th. There's supposed to be there was supposed to be an alleged attack starting from the 14th, was it, to the 22nd, or was it from the 19th to the 22nd? There was supposed to be an attack of some kind. People were worried about it, and then and again, we still have a couple days. But I told you guys before in the video, none of that shit's gonna work. Not that it's gonna work. It's not gonna happen. I don't know why people keep saying my source is this, my source is that, and then nothing happens. Now, it would be my luck that tomorrow, today I say nothing's going to happen, and tomorrow the shit's on. There is that. But Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see anything major at all. At least, I mean, we're gonna see bullshit from here on out. Yeah, supposedly the Epstein files, and then Three Eye Atlas is coming close by tomorrow, and the Epstein files are getting released. We'll see, but we can't see Three Eye Atlas, right? If I'm not mistaken, we can't see it. So it passes by, but I'm gonna look at the sky and go, where the fuck is it? Like at least we can't see it with the naked eye. You have to have a telescope to see it. That much I know. Yeah, coconut oil again. That stuff, that sleep stuff. Coconut oil. What the hell was it? Coconut oil, sea salt. I don't have sea salt, but I do have Himalayan salt. So I'm gonna use that or Baja salt. So I'm gonna use honey, Baja salt, but it doesn't tell you how much either. That's the other side of it. That fucking this stupid thing. It didn't tell me how much, so I'm gonna assume like a pinch here, a tablespoon there. I don't know how much. I don't know how much I need of each. There's a Instagram account I follow for those that are interested. His Instagram account I follow, they talk about like cosmic movies, and one of them is Interstellar. And Interstellar, when they're stuck on Miller's planet, and that's the planet where they were stuck on it for 27 years, right? And for each, what was it, 8 seconds or some shit like that, a full year went by, or some craziness like that. And yeah, so anyway, they do a time lapse of Earth, and then when they were on the planet and how fast everything was speeding by. It's pretty cool. And then they said that the other day when the movie was released, that the movie was released back in September. Interstellar movie was released back in September. That the day the movie was released, they were on that planet for 10 years. It wasn't 27, 10 years, right? So, no, I thought it was 27 years. It might have been 27 years. But the movie came out like 10 years ago, whatever it was. And they said that the same time passed by that they were stuck on a planet. I was like, that's pretty cool. But again, that's movie shit. And yeah, everybody's reporting it that the suspected Brown University shooter is gone. It's dead. Again, I'm not buying any of this, guys. The cold fusion or the clean fusion guy, scientist, dead in his home. Yeah, right. And then this guy so happens to find himself murked. Not buying it. Not even a little bit. I think it's all bullshit. But whatever. So anyway, guys, with that, I'm going to head over to the Angry Truth channel. We're going to talk about this, a couple of new information about the arm ticket. And that what one doctor said that the arm ticket is doing is why so many people are having problems. Outside of that, guys, I will sit there and tell you thank you for joining me. Again, next week it'll be Monday and Friday because it's Christmas week. For those that celebrate, it's Christmas week, so it'll be Monday and Friday. I will see some of you guys on the Angry Truth. I'll see the rest of you guys next week. Other than that, guys, thank you. I appreciate it. And see some of you guys next in a couple minutes.